BT community groups, I'm so glad that you're able to gather today. I pray that you are blessed through our Easter services. And as we kind of move on with our Questions from God series, we know now that we're in our third week, and our question today comes from the lips of Jesus that we see recorded in Matthew chapter 16, verses 13 through 20. And Pastor Chris did an excellent job breaking this down and actually anchoring it into a bigger narrative with Peter and Jesus. But one of the things I want to do is actually kind of come to the text where we get this question and draw attention to a couple of things I think should be inspiring for us today as we think about what it means to answer God's questions. And so I'm going to read this passage, and you're welcome to read along. It says this: When Jesus came to the region of Caesarea Philippi, he asked his disciples, "Who do you say that the Son of Man is?" And they replied, "Some say John the Baptist, others Elijah, still others Jeremiah or one of the prophets." "But you," he asked them, "who do you say that I am?" And Simon Peter answered, "You are the Messiah, the Son of the living God." And Jesus responded, "Blessed are you, Simon, son of Jonah, because flesh and blood did not reveal this to you, but my Father who is in heaven." And I'll stop there just for the sake of time. But we see Jesus' question started first with asking who his disciples believed that other people were saying Jesus was. Now, I think if you were to just ask yourselves in this community group, if you were to look across the room or look across the screen, right, and point to people and say, who do I think this person is? Or who do I think this person says Jesus is? Who do I think this person says Jesus is? We all might be able to come to the same conclusion and hopefully come to the same answer, right? That we would repeat Peter's answer where he says it's the Messiah. We believe that Jesus is the Messiah. And that term Messiah is a rich term. It means Savior. It's somebody that the Jewish people had been waiting for a long, long time. But I want us to look at what Jesus says in response to Peter's correct answer. Because after Peter says, "You're the Messiah," he said, "Blessed are you, Simon, son of Jonah, because flesh and blood did not reveal this to you, but my Father who is in heaven." Now, I think it's important for us to think about what this term flesh and blood means, because he's really talking about two ways to receive that information about who Jesus really is. But when he talks about flesh and blood, what he's saying is it's humanity. But I really am convinced that maybe, just maybe, when Jesus is saying flesh and blood, he's not just referring to humanity as a whole across the nation. He's actually drawing Peter's attention to his church community, his Jewish heritage. And I wonder if he means, when he says flesh and blood, Peter, the church says that I am one of these people. The church says, my followers will say that I'm John the Baptist or Elijah or Jeremiah or some of the other prophets. And I wonder if we just kind of take that same idea and reflect it upon ourselves, I wonder how often we allow our religious heritage to supplant the voice, the speaking voice of the living God. Because Jesus' encouragement to Peter, his blessing on him, was to say, it wasn't that the people of God said this about me that makes you believe. It's that you heard the voice of the Father, and that's why you believe. Because one of the things that Peter says is when he says, you are the Messiah, the Son of the living God, what he's saying there is Messiah, the Savior, the one we've waited for so long, the Son of the God who is active, not some lifeless idol. This is the Son that speaks to us. And I love whenever he challenges, whenever he challenges his disciples to make a statement, what he's really asking them to do is make a confession. Who do you say that I am? Forget about what the people are saying. Who is it that you say that I am? You have a personal encounter. You have a personal relationship. God is speaking to you. Who do you say that I am? And I'll challenge you with this, community group, as we start to wrap this up and get into our questions. I just want you to understand that who Jesus is to others is not nearly as important as who you say that Jesus is. And so what I would encourage you to do is mirror what the Scriptures teach us. Believe in your heart that He is Lord, and confess with your mouth that He is Lord. It's in that place that we will begin to experience the fruit of salvation, the sanctification where God is renewing us day by day, step by step as we follow Him. There are lifelong results and fruits of getting to walk with Jesus, recognizing him and confessing him as Lord, as Messiah. Community groups, I pray that you're blessed. I pray that these questions will be fruitful for you. I pray that as you have these conversations, you will encourage each other, you will pray for each other, and that y'all would walk away from this place confident that you have a community of people rallying around you who are going to push you and support you in your pursuit of Jesus. Praying for you guys. Be blessed.